This is McKinley Massacre back with an update on my Freddy cosplay. I haven't done too much on him since the last video. I haven't really had the time. I have a commission right now, and I'm doing stuff around our house. So I haven't touched his foam work or anything for a while. I did take his ears off to be able to work on some of this. But what I wanted to show you guys was the early mechanism work for his eye. I only have one done right now. The other one is here. What I wanted to do was build out the eyelids, hook up a mechanism in the back just to see if my ideas would work. And I'm still not completely sure. You know, I want both eyes here to kind of work off of the same servo. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. We will see, but I did get it working for one eye. The mechanism is kind of janky on the inside put together, but I really just wanted to see if my basic setup would work before I go ahead and start building the other eye. So I just wanted to show you guys really quick what I've done here. You can see I just have, this is just reachable. I think I showed you guys at the last video. I have all the stuff just in the back of his head right now, and I can just reach it through his other eye socket. The eye is not in the proper place. It's a little bit further back than I would want it to be regularly. I don't know if you can see how it's kind of really far back in there. It shouldn't be that far. The mechanism is just a test mechanism. I will rebuild it with better materials, and I am having trouble with some of the, I'll show you guys how I made it really quickly when I'm done showing you guys how this is working. But I wasn't really happy with the connections for the eyelids in the back. It's pushing and pulling the eye shut, and there's some tweaks that I need to make, but it's working, which is really neat, and I'll show you guys. I did also hook up the, I'm using RGB LEDs for his eyes. So his eyes in the movie, his eyes glow yellow, and then when he's angry, they change to red. So I did that, and I made them fade in between, which is really neat. I'm not going to share my code for this yet, but once I get all of the stuff done, all of his mechanics done, I will share the Arduino code for how I did all this. But first, I'm going to show you guys and turn this on here. And his LED eyes turn on. You can see the other one back there. I do have the actual, all I did for these was drill a hole in the top. You can't even really see it, especially with the eyelids, you can't see it. So the LEDs just stuck in there. I haven't permanently hooked them up yet in there. It's just kind of floating in there, which is why it'll actually look a little bit brighter once it's fully in there. But he is blinking, which is really neat. And then I have a little button in here that I can press. Oh, let me move his eyebrows down to angry mode here. The pin is misbehaving. And like I said in the first video, I'm going to hook up his eyebrows to a servo, so they'll do that automatically. And I can make him do his little, if I can find the button in here, there it is. His angry face. And it also turns the LED red, which is pretty fun. So the way that this is working, and let me just turn him around here and I'll show you guys what's going on in the back. So I have, like I said, kind of a janky mechanism for right now, but you can see the servo is attached to this center. This is actually a reinforcement for the top of his head that I actually kind of not permanently attached yet the way I want it to. Still in the middle of working on him, but so I'm using a SparkFun RedBoard in place of an Arduino. It's basically an Arduino Uno. It's kind of the same thing. And then the servo back here, these are the LED wires right here. This guy is just pushing this eye. Like I said, I put this together really fast just to test it. So I didn't have another machine bolt that was that size, so I ended up just using one of my little eye bolt guys to attach this. But this arm is just pushing the eyelids open and closed. You can kind of see in there what's going on. And then one of the specific things that I had to do, you'll see that the LED is going under that, and you're probably wondering, how is the eyelid not knocking the LED out of place. I had to do something actually really specific for that, because what I did end up using for this, let me turn you back around, buddy, and make you not angry anymore. Is I have these eyes, and I think I showed these in the first video. These were like little plastic Christmas ornaments available at Michael's that somehow happened to like perfectly fit over the inner diameter. These are 3-inch half dome, what are called cabochons, available from Tap Plastics. And I guess the inner diameter of these Christmas ornaments is 3 inches because it fits perfectly over the eye. The problem with that is because they fit perfectly over the eye, if I just stuck the LED in here, it would get stuck. You know, if I just did that, there's no clearance there. It would just kind of push the LED back out or get caught on it and not move at all. So what I ended up having to do is cut a channel out of these plastic guys here, and so that basically goes around there. And then I put a piece of Warbler. This is Warbler, if you guys don't know. It's a thermoplastic. You heat it with a heat gun, and it kind of becomes sticky and adhesive, and all I did was melt it over this guy with some darts. And so the top of the Warbler is on top. This is Warbler too, this stuff that I covered it with partially. When the Warbler is over here, there's enough clearance for it to move around the LED without hitting it. So the eyelids are a combination of these weird little plastic things and Warbler. That's all it is. There's no 3D printing or anything like that. I somehow got really lucky with these. I was really, really shocked. I thought I was actually going to have to make the entire eyelid out of Warbler, which is doable. Like, it's, you know, I don't have access to a 3D printer, so it was, you know, none of this is 3D printed. None of it will be 3D printed. It's all handmade stuff. So that's how I got away with doing the eyelids. And then, of course, you know, when I did the Warbler, there's a little hinge in the back here, so the eyelids, you know, can pivot like that. And then I put a little notch in the back here, or I guess it was let me use this one, because this one, there's a little notch in the back where there's a hole and there's a wire that goes in the back, so it's pushing and pulling that way. And I used music wire. So it's kind of like hooked into the top of the eyelid, and it pushes and pulls like that. The reason that it's not really working is because it's really hard to bend this stuff, and this is like the thicker stuff. Anything thinner, and I would risk the servo like bending it a little bit, which I don't want. But this stuff is really hard to bend into the correct shape, and you can't really tell, but on the inside, it's hanging up a little bit, so I'm just gonna rebuild that. I have some, what are called, like, ball links, I think, from Dubro. They're for, aircraft, like RC aircraft stuff that I'm probably gonna end up using, because it just doesn't work as well as I was hoping. But, you know, the mechanism works, so I can just rebuild it with better materials and have it actually be nice, working smoothly. It's pretty smooth. You can't tell that there's a little bit, the bottom eyelid hangs up a little bit. I don't know if you can even see it. It's something that like nobody would ever notice, but I'm like crazy about super specific stuff. So it's something that I'm going to fix. And then the backing, you can see kind of in here, there's the screw post for the eyelid. He pinched me. The eyelid hinge is going through. This is just PVC board, just to kind of keep it in place. And then this is also on the back of the eye. What I will end up doing likely is putting something like a really thin piece along the back of both eyes, and hoping that one servo will just push that forward and pull it back, and it'll work for both eyelids as long as I put the wires in the same place on each of them. We'll see if that works. I might need a separate servo for each eye and just, you know, hook them up to the same movement, but we'll see how that ends up working. But yeah, that was all I wanted to share with you guys. And If you guys have any questions, just feel free to comment or like catch me on Discord if you want. And I hope you guys are enjoying this project and the process. If there's anything else I can share, let me know.